want to thank Councilwoman Burns and Winfrey Carter for attending the 11-year commemoration we had last Friday, and thank you, Judy Priestley, for letting us know you would not be able to attend, but you did acknowledge it. It was a very emotional event, it turned out, as people shared their stories of their families and themselves, the deaths in their family, the sicknesses that they secured. One woman talked about the miscarriage, and it was a very cathartic event. And every once in a while, we need to come back and recognize what we have been through. Because the purposes of these commemorations is to say, never forget and never surrender. Never forget and never surrender. That is the purpose of these events. Now, having said that, a few days later, here come the Environmental Protection Agency with a gut shot, another gut shot, to the city of Flint by saying, the emergency is over. How can the emergency be over when we still don't have settlement money, the water's still not safe, the water's still not affordable, there's still much to do infrastructure-wise to get the water system up to par. We still have health issues, and we have asked that the residents impacted by the water crisis have health care like they gave in Libby, Montana. Y'all look that up. Libby, Montana, Medicare for All. They had a health care crisis. It was included in the Affordable Care Act. But for some reason, we in Flint couldn't get it. Now, we come up here and tell y'all what's on our mind, what are bothering us, and a lot of times we suggest things that fall on deaf ears, like $16 million additional dollars for rehab. But this time, because of what the EPA has done, and it has pushed us into further crises, health-wise and quality of life-wise, by them lifting the emergency, I would like to see this council write a letter from this council to the EPA and say that this is not acceptable, and talk about the challenges that we still face here in the city of Flint. You can do that. You've written letters beyond the city limits in the past, and it's time to write another one. You wrote a letter, you put $20 million in the settlement money, but you haven't wrote a letter saying where's the money for the residents. Now that seemed like that would be natural. Thank you.
The next speaker is Sandy Jobin.
Good evening. My name is Sandy Jobin. First of all, I want to announce that Kenneth Miller resigned from the DPW. And also, I think it's pretty sad that we still have rules for me but not for thee, or rules for thee but not for us. I was at the last meeting, and the gentleman sat here and pleaded his case with the children, stating that he wanted to voice his opinion, and you guys allowed it. But yet, you pick up the box before you even have quorum, and that's all about control. And that's all Flint has ever been about, is controlling the people. And you guys are forgetting that these people voted you in, unless they didn't. And that's why you have nothing to lose, because you were placed. Maybe they thought they voted you, or they didn't vote you in, but you guys were placed by somebody. Now you can take that whichever way you want to.